Today, we're going to talk a little bit about patience. Patience being the fourth fruit of the Spirit mentioned in Galatians 5:22. We've talked about love, we've talked about peace, we've talked about joy, and now we're coming to patience. And you hear that saying that life is your greatest teacher. And a lot of times when you sit back and you think of like things that you've done in the past, or you reflect on mistakes that you've made and what you've learned from it and how to apply it going forward. A good example is this morning, or last night actually, here in Virginia where we're at, we had a really bad storm come through and almost tornado like. I won't say it was a tornado, but it was tornado like. Very strong winds. There's leaves and limbs and whatever all over the ground. We had hail, and anyways, the driveway was just covered in leaves, and the porch was covered in leaves. And while we have a leaf blower that I could have gotten out, and quickly blown the leaves, I took my little kitchen broom. I swept the porch off, I swept the sidewalk, I swept all the way down the driveway. And while that may seem like a little task, as I was doing it, I felt like doing things like that and not depending so much on like your electronic type stuff just to make it quicker. It keeps you like in tune with your fine motor skills, right? And it also gives you time to think about stuff. Like, why are we always in such a hurry? Why do we always have to have things done so quickly, right? I could have gotten the leaf blower out, blowed all the leaves, been done within a couple minutes. But with patience, I took the broom and I swept it all. And just thinking about that in life, what are we so consumed with or distracted with that makes us in such a hurry for everything? So today we're going to look at the Greek word for patience is, and I'm going to butcher this, makrothemia. The word for that in Hebrew is subunut, or actually it's ark, which is Hebrew Strong's H750. I just want to tell you first, I am not a teacher. I do not claim to be a teacher. I'm sharing my studies with you in hopes that it helps someone along their journey. So the definition given for this fruit is forbearance, long suffering, slow to anger, and the root word of that is to defer or prolong. So there's one of these quotes that I like. It says, "Patience is bitter, but it bears sweet fruit." How true is that? When you really have to wait for something, but ultimately in the end, how sweet is it? How awesome is it when you do receive that fruit? So starting off in Galatians 5:22, it says, "But the fruit of the Ruach, which is the Spirit, is love, joy, peace, and patience." The encyclopedia's definition of patience is the ability to remain calm while waiting, enduring difficult circumstances. Synonyms for this is endurance, obedience, willingness, discipline, perseverance, and fortitude. Antonyms, these are what's opposite of this word, is intolerant, irritability, and hastiness. So now that we have a slight grasp on what patience is and isn't, let's look at the first place this word is used. Remembering that this is the first fruit, or this is fruit being produced by the Spirit of the covenant. In Shamuth, which is Exodus 34, 5 through 6, this is the second time that the commands were given, or the instructions. It says, "And Yahuwah came down in the cloud and stood with him," with Moses, there, "and proclaimed the name Yahuwah. And Yahuwah passed before him and proclaimed, Yahuwah, Yahuwah, and Al, compassionate and showing favor, patient and great in loving commitment and truth." Verse 7, "Watching over loving commitment for thousands, forgiving crookedness and transgression and sin, but by no means leaving unpunished, visiting the crookedness of the fathers upon the children and the children's children to the third and fourth generation. We have a basic understanding that this patient, it comes from him. It comes through the Spirit, through the Ruach, through Yahushua Messiah, his discipline. This is what we were told. So this is how our daily life should mirror when he is our foundation. In Romans 2, 3 through 4. And do you think, O man, you who judge those practicing such wrongs and doing the same, that you shall escape the judgment of Elohim? Or do you despise the riches of his kindness and tolerance and patience, not knowing that the kindness of Elohim leads you to repentance? Shaul is explaining what we just read in Shamuth in Exodus. How many times have we, or what did I write here? Have we or others been quick to point out what someone else is doing? Right? We while we still have things that we need to work on, but we're quick to point our finger at someone else. Meanwhile, we have all these issues, right? You've heard the saying, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, which is typically applied to physics or motion. But this is also applied emotionally, right? Emotion has motion in it. In Joel 2, 12 through 13, yet even now declares Yahuwah, turn to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and tear your heart and not your garments, and turn back to Yahuwah your Elohim, for he shows favor and is compassionate, patient, and of great loving commitment, and he shall relent concerning the evil. So you see there's an action and a reaction, an action producing another action, working together. Ephesians 4, 1 through 2. I call upon you, therefore, I, the prisoner of the Master, to walk worthily of the calling with which you were called, with all humility and meekness, with patience, bearing with one another in love. You see how all these fruits, spiritual attributes, work together? How easy it is to lose, how easy is it to lose patience these days? Whether it be waiting for an answer, like a decision or a response, waiting in line at the store or in traffic, other people take note of our actions and our reactions. So when we say that we're a follower of the way, we need to make sure that we are, guarding ourselves from just like hasty decisions and things, and how we present ourselves in front of others. So in Ecclesiastes Koheleth 7:8, it says, the end of a matter is better than its beginning. The patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. In this context, proud seems to be used in a negative context, an exaggerated sense of self-importance or looking down on others. Boastful. When we are being taught, let's be sure to let it saturate or marinate in our understanding and share the truth in love. Because knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. We are all in different chapters. So be patient. Be patient that someone may just be noticing the cover of the book while you're on chapter 50. I'm just saying, I've been there, I've done that, I've learned some painful lessons along the way that were much needed to pound stuff out of me and build me back up. In 2 Timothy 4, 1 through 2, in the sight of Elohim and the Master Yahushua Messiah, who shall judge the living and the dead at his appearing and his reign, I earnestly charge you, proclaim the word. Okay, the word, the moral precepts given by Yahuwah, the word made manifest, Yahushua Messiah. Be ready in season. That's when the opportunity occurs, in season, and out of season, which is basically unseasonable. So at all times, convict, bring to light, rebuke, console with all your patience and instruction. You never know who you're going to cross paths with. Always be prepared. ABP. Mishle, Proverbs 14:29. He who is patient has great understanding, but he who is short of spirit exalts folly. So it's an impulsive behavior, to just no patience. Yaakov, James, explains this in James 1:19 through 20. So then, my beloved brothers, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man does not work righteousness of Elohim. It doesn't produce. Think about patience and silence, how at times you need to be still, right? Talk can inflame anger, and vice versa when responding hastily. This takes self-control. Self-control. Another is modesty, another fruit of the Spirit. And you see how all the fruits work together for our good. We are so quick to take matters into our own hands instead of waiting. You know, it says the word tells us vengeance is his, he shall repay. In Nahum 1-3, Yahuwah is slow to anger. He's patient and great in power and will not at all acquit. Yahuwah has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm and in the clouds, which is a veil over, are the dust of his feet. Remember, we read in Exodus 34:6 when we started. I'm cross-referencing to just show that all the words contained in the book or the writing of truth work together. They help to guide us in our decision making and our walk. We need to better practice our trusting and obeying. In 2 Corinthians 6:2-6, for he says, in an acceptable time I have heard you, and in a day of deliverance I have helped you. See, now is the well-accepted time. See, now is a day of deliverance. Giving no cause of stumbling and whatever, so that the service is not blamed. Rather, we commend ourselves as servants of Elohim in every way, in much endurance, in pressure, in hardships, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments, in disturbances, in toils, in watchings, in fastings, in cleanliness, in knowledge, in patience, in kindness, in the Ruach HaKodesh, in love and unfeigned. So remember, because those are the fruits of the Spirit, right? That's producing that in us. So let's not be hypocrites and try to think long term. Victory over circumstance. There are many other places in Scripture that describe patience, but I'm going to wrap it up with this. Abrim, Hebrews 6:10-12. For Elohim is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have showed toward his name, in that you have attended, you have served to the sacred, and do attend, do serve. And we desire that each of you show the same eagerness to the entire confirmation of expectation until the end, in order that you do not become sluggish, but imitate those who through belief and patience inherit the promises. What promises? Remember, there were promises to Abraham. We are to be imitators of what is good, in turn to receive in the inheritance. Yah works in us the fruits of the Spirit through Yahushua Messiah. When we do or act contrary to this with our works of the flesh, we will not inherit the kingdom. Our mind and our flesh battle, you know, and I know it's tough having patience with whether it be a circumstance or a person, traffic, whatever it might be. But when we just think about bearing injury through quiet disposition, sowing, sprouting, pruning, and reaping is a process that requires patience. Anyone that's tried to grow their own food, understands that. And ultimately, it's Him that provides to us. So I hope that you gleaned something from this. I'm not the greatest speaker, and I do stumble up sometimes, but um, I just pray that Yah blesses you and protects you. And if you're new to this channel, that this would be a blessing to you and to help you on your spiritual walk and your journey. Shalom, shalom.